Welcome to the last lab, the preparation of soap lab. Now, because I clearly don't hate myself enough yet, we're going to do two trials simultaneously. I'm going to try corn oil versus olive oil to see which makes better soap. But essentially, it's going to be following the same exact process for each of those. I'm going to add them side by side and we'll see how it turns out. So this first flask will be my corn oil flask. I'm going to try to add 2 pellets of sodium hydroxide, regardless of how much they actually weigh. It should be about 0.2 grams. There's one. There's 2. So those 2 pellets weigh 0.227 grams. Okay. To that, I'm now going to add. Okay, rotate that up. Add 1 ml of water and 1 ml of ethanol. Well, 95% ethanol. And now I need to stir this. I need to get the sodium hydroxide fully dissolved. So I'm going to stir this until it's fully dissolved, and then I will add the corn oil. Now that I've fully dissolved my sodium hydroxide, I'm going to attempt to add 0.25 grams of Wesson's pure corn oil. Very viscous stuff, of course. I've added 0.256 grams. So that's now ready. Now to do the same thing with the other flask. To this flask, which is going to be my olive oil soap, I'm going to add 2 pellets, sodium hydroxide, no. I guess that will be it. So that's 0.197 grams of the sodium hydroxide. Now where's my, there's. Now to add 1 ml of 95% ethanol. And 1 ml of distilled water. And now to mix this until it fully dissolves. Now that it's fully dissolved, I have to add the olive oil. This is best choice, 100% pure olive oil. Very viscous. Very viscous. Okay, that's 0.260 grams of olive oil. Okay, now I'm putting the little jar over it and put it on the hot plate, and this needs to heat for at least 30 minutes at boiling. The little beaker is there to try to slow down evaporation. So we're going to let that go for heat until boiling and then go for another 30 minutes. So it's probably been about a half an hour. I've had to come back in, stir this every so often, add more liquid as it's been boiling. I'm going to go ahead and take them off. Might have to still add some more liquid. Let's move them off to the side for now. And I'll proceed with the next step. Now here comes the precipitation and extraction of the salt. So I'm going to cheat a bit, and I'm going to use some pre-prepared saturated sodium chloride solution. Maybe a little bit different than it's supposed to be, but it'll be fine. It's about 4.5 mils, 4 mils, 4.5 mils, something like that. Put that into a beaker. Now I'm going to pour my oil into there. Here's the corn oil first. Put that in a nice water bath. Do the same thing with my olive oil. I'm actually going to rinse these guys with a little bit of pour a little bit of this ice water out. Don't need this thick. Add a little bit more ethanol to these and rinse them back into there. So, a little bit more ethanol, just to make sure I got as much oil out of there as as much soap out of there as I can. Especially the olive oil one. I had a lot of trouble keeping that one solubilized and keeping that from boiling over too much. We'll see. Okay. Now I need to just stir this while it cools. One seems to have precipitated well. They're both clouding up real nice, real nice. So I'm going to let those cool for maybe 5 minutes. Come back, stir them a little bit more. Then I'm going to start trying to separate what I can with a Hirsch funnel. Okay, I'm now going to filter through my corn oil soap and wash it with cold deionized water. Watch this 2 3 ml portions of ice cold deionized water. I stored this in the fridge, in the freezer for a little bit. Trying to scrape as much into solution as I can, at least into the off the side, so that when I pour this I get as much into the filter as I can. One more portion. Now let that finish filtering and dry, and then I'll test the corn oil, and then I'll compare that to my olive oil in a few minutes. You may not be able to tell. I'll go ahead and pick this up the stand and move a little bit closer. See right there, it's faintly yellow soap. Yellow like the corn oil. Now to test my sample. There's a small bit of this. I'm going to add about 3 ml of deionized water into there. Actually, scrape it off actually. Sticky. I need a lid, a bit more. Get the glove on. Requires me to put my thumb over this. Okay. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Very foamy. Okay. I'm going to add this a few drops of calcium chloride. Oh, what happened? That foam. Probably like 4 drops of calcium chloride. Sorry. That's what happens with calcium chloride mixed with soap. We're going to add a 1/2 gram of trisodium phosphate. Just a second. Okay. Weigh this out in advance next time. Halfway there. This is very light stuff and very fluffy stuff. Okay, one more grip. Okay. So I've added the trisodium phosphate. What has happened again? To have foamed back up again. So this is the result of the corn oil. It's foamed back up quite a bit after. Now to let this guy dry at least overnight, and then I'll weigh out the corn. Repeat with corn oil, the olive oil. Oh, this is solidified into a nice lump. So now I just gotta let this hair dry for a bit. Let's look at this, how this differs. This is very white and very pasty. Very different from how the corn one here. Could have been because it precipitated for a little bit longer period of time, but the color is still inherent in the olive oil. Olive oil is still as yellow as corn oil, but produces a very differently colored soap. Doing the same process with this. Small little bit of soap. Dropped a little bit in there. Gotta get more water. Okay. Wow, that is very, very foamy. Very, very foamy. Okay, so let's try the calcium chloride. See what happens. Should be the same. Should be the same. Should be similar at least. Okay. You notice what happens to the foam. Mixing this up. Yeah, we got a lot of the white chunks of the. Well, they are very light and definitely float to the top, at least on this guy. Okay, so it's floated all to the top. We have a chunk of white solid. And lastly, I'm going to add the trisodium phosphate. Thankfully this time I've pre-weighed it of 0.5 grams. Looking at what happened here. Let's see how that looks in another 30 seconds. Back to foamy again, kind of. So now to also let the olive oil dry, and then I'll check on those. After 2 days of drying, I'm going to try to scrape the corn oil soap onto this and weigh it. I'm not sure we're going to have a whole lot of corn oil soap. Something may have screwed up during the lab, but I only have a little bit. Not a whole lot though. Getting small little flakes where it's greasy. So how much of this is actually filter paper I'm scraping off here? Really be able to know. Though the places where I'm scraping it off are going from oily sheen to like back to the white filter paper, so hoping that this is mostly it. You can see where I've started to scrape. That a little bit whiter. Trying to get the large bits. They formed a nice thin. There. So I got a nice white powder. Let's see how all said and done. maybe there's some left on here, but I got as much as I can. So that's 0.68, 0.068, 0.068 grams, we'll say, of the corn soap. Now the olive oil soap is far more promising looking. I got some big chunks. I can just put that onto there. There won't have to be a lot of scraping. Get that off. So, okay. So there's olive oil soap. Olive oil soap actually weighs about 0.269 grams. So whatever I did with that one, it gave a much higher yield. So that is the olive oil soap.